Aloha and welcome. I'm Digital Micro. You've landed on the Digital Micro Trading Journal channel. Day trading for ROI payout, no trade recommendations, just my trade journal. And we're talking about price action order flow for Monday, March 2023. And we've got a large Globex handle range, 57 handles. So we'll talk about the price action imbalances, the draws on liquidity, and some order flow levels. So let's get to it. Digital Micro here with this 24-hour chart. Here we are Monday, deep in Europe Globex, and we have 57 handles of handle range. And you can see the new week open gap here. This coral color level is quite a wide range compared to last week's open gap. And look where we are in relation to how we started the first day of the year. Way up here at 1790, we're currently 1746, and we're jumping around. So this yellow rectangle is the equilibrium point from Friday, and you can see the big thing on this chart is the new low for the year. So we reached that in Europe Globex pivot 1707.9, and one thing I will note is if we've already seen, and that's a big if, the highs. So the range for last Friday is here. And if I add that right here on overlay on the range currently in Globex, we could definitely come down and test 1700 if we're not done. So again, it's all about the RTH. Do they want to retest the Europe lows? Usually that can be a true thing, that whatever we did in Globex, on especially a swing low, can be retested. So let's go to the 60-minute next. Okay, so the 60-minute encapsulates, I think, a lot better what's been happening. So we had these relative lows from last week on different days, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, and here we are Monday Globex, and we go boom, we hit these stops, and it's just a run, and then we go right back up. Here's a fair value gap, SIBI, sell side imbalance right here on this black candle, buy side inefficiency, and then we just retrace it all the way back to the new week open gap. So if we're going to target the next goal, that would be 54 to 59.9, call it 50.60, because that was a pretty harsh black candle down, and that also was the RTH open just above it on March 17th, St. Patty's Day. So these are the levels I'm looking at above, the RTH open Friday and this SIBI fair value gap above. And below, if we do test the lows, you can see that's a big steep drop. So again, when you've got 57 handles in Globex, who knows what the RTH can bring? The 15-minute is next. Okay, 15-minute chart. So let's do the breakdown. So up here we have the new week open gap, and we've got these sell side imbalances all in black. And then what I'm really taking note of in the Globex is New York 3 a.m., New York 4 a.m., and I mark off the pivot here on the time zones because price delivery is based first on time. So I want to know what the price was at the specific time. And I want to look at this red arrow here. We had a minus 1114 on the delta, and that was coming in on a low of 1714. And then a few candles later on this 15-minute, we hit the low for the year with only a minus 22. So we zip right back up, made an order block here above this time zone pivot, and then we've got the fair value gap and another order block. And here we are coming off the high of the new week open gap, and we're below, just hitting below this New York midnight open. So there you have it. All I'm doing right now is going to wait for the 8:30 Eastern time and see what's offered because of the volatility. We'll take a quick look at the Renko and wrap. Renko with Keltner is kind of my guilty pleasure. It's not a pure price action chart, but I still love to look at it for reference. Look at here where we go down to the second deviation on the lower Keltner, and we just stay there for a long time. We come back up, and this is all right before the Europe pivot. The Europe pivot comes in right about here. We hit the upper Keltner, and we go again down to the first Keltner blue, poke down, then we drive all the way up to the second above blue Keltner right up here. And this comes in about an hour and 10 minutes after Europe opens. And you can see we've just been trending up since then. The note here is, again, we have had extreme volatility on these lower Keltners. Last week, and we start off Monday, we're hitting either the second blue above or the second blue below. That's significant. So that's all I've got on the Renkos. You got to be real careful. Just slow the trading down, slow everything down. That's what I'm doing for Monday, because 57 handles, you don't need a lot of size in this kind of a market to make the day and get in and get out. So that's what I plan to do. And not to forget, FOMC is Wednesday. Take care. Aloha. Bye.